rolling. So, okay. So today I plan on going over a number of ports that I've done using Pkgsrc, from small to large. Tools everywhere, methods everywhere, anything that'll work for me. I'm exclusively now in a GCC 4 environment. I'll mention if there's a time when I remember it worked better in one environment or the other, but I'm going to go into my flagship environment, and hopefully I won't have to install too many dependencies to get my stuff back to the way it was. So first I'm going to start out with is an archiver called XZ that I had, apparently my glasses weren't working, so I had XV. It's version 5.05. It's an archiver, and there's a trick to this that's very important. So if you're in, in fact, I'll go into the official build of Haiku, and I'll see. I don't think it's built over there as well, and I'll show how to change the architecture so something will build where it will make a difference. I imagine the only problem is if you're building in the hybrid environment applications, some that are unlabeled as such, and some that will work in GCC 2 and some that work in GCC 4. You're going to end up having a bunch of packages, but it can end up being like a mess. By default, it uses GCC 2.95. You can change the architecture to use GCC 4, or I think it's 4.85, something thereabouts, but we'll see it on screen. And then some compilations that would fail will succeed, and I believe that if my notes are right, XZ is one of them. So now, one of the main reasons why I'm using Pkgsrc is just to get the source code to me, so I don't have to go hunting around for it. I mean, there are a lot of issues for me to. Right now, I'm trying to explore. I'm kind of like, I see myself as Voyager, not as the Apollo mission. You know, I'm not here to learn more about the moon. I'm here to see what's out there, kind of, and that's what I'm trying to do. If you catch that analogy, so that's why I'm not using Haiku Porter. Haiku Porter is going back to places that have already been explored, and I want to come up with new answers and new things, or just update the status on some things that have been ported already, but the recipe hasn't been updated in Haiku Porter. Get the information out there. I'm just learning how to run the diff program, and I'm not even sure if I would actually correctly make a patch when I did. And there'll be one. So I got a lot to cover here, so I might as well just get started. So here is the supported version of Haiku. Let's start that up. This is the hybrid version. So by default, it's going to use GCC 2.95. Now for a while there, and I looked at this, and in case this ever crosses your mind, you know, maybe I could just set the architecture to GCC 4 and then bootstrap. I'm not quite sure if that effectively turns your Pkgsrc into a GCC 4 compiler the whole time. I will say this, and in general, there are only a few cases where I have actually reverted back to GCC 2.95 that something would compile that did not compile with GCC 4. It's most often than I found it's the other way around, because I've gone through a lot of packages. I didn't do much. I'm just starting for today, and today I've decided I'm going to stop and try to get some of this information out. I'm not going to redo anything that I've done before, except if I found out something new about it. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's go to the archivers first of all. Let's go over to the archiver called XT. So I have my alias that changes directories to Pkgsrc. It's actually boot home Pkgsrc. And squiggly stands for boot home. CDAR tab gives me CD archivers, and then I'm going to do XZ. Okay, so I'm in there. And do is the same thing as boot, home, package, bin, bmake, and then install. Let's see what this does. Okay, so this is what happens. It says, sorry, we need GC 3.3. And what that means specifically is, somewhere on the system, GCC 4 is there, right? But when I was first using Pkgsrc, I thought, oh my god, now I gotta port over GCC 3. And that was a big roadblock for me at the time. And then I realized that I could change the architecture, and perhaps maybe it would recognize I was using a version of GCC greater than 3.3 and then just compile. Well, let's see what happens here. And I may end up going into this whole bootstrap procedure if it doesn't work. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it without the second bootstrap. I may have already tried a second bootstrap on this, but so I'm going to do set arch x86. And what this does, it tells, in fact, before I do that, and I may have already done this before, but I'm going to do GCC double score version. It tells me I got 2.953. Okay, so now I'm going to do set arch x86. They changed the way the change to, it used to be a slightly different command set to change the architecture, and so this is good to know that this is the current. Right now it's I got this nightly build about a month ago. It's August 18th, 2014. I'm going to set my arch. Now, unless that's what it already is. No. Okay, so now I'm using GCC 4.83. Now let's see what happens when I do bmake. So I've actually didn't try, just assumed it wouldn't work. Now, as you notice, it looked like I kept my history there, but it didn't. There was actually it resets the terminal at this point. So my previously typed bmake install is gone. At least I can't use the up arrow to go there. I don't like that. I don't know if that's a bug or it just can't be helped, but oh, bmake, yeah, all the path commands are gone, so now I have to do the whole path. That's the downside. And then if you put set arch in your .profile, it'll say it doesn't understand it. But the good news is the up arrow will continue to work. So bmake install from this point, unless I set the arch again, right? But then supposedly I'll have my, okay, so it still says I need GCC 3.36. What am I going to do about that? That could be a big showstopper. So let's get around this. And there was a web page that someone had put up for using Pkgsrc in Mac OS X. And so to get out of this, you have to actually bootstrap, and even though there's errors at the end, it doesn't matter. It looks like it wants you to do something, but you're okay. Once you've bootstrapped, after you set the arch to x86, and you're done. So here's the web page. It's this guy, Pkgsrc and OS X, Raspberry's blog. So give credit to Mansour Mufid. And the only thing I was really interested in, it's probably very good. I mean, this guy had some good information, so, you know, if you're interested in using Pkgsrc in Mac OS X, you can. But this is it. So I need to go to the bootstrap directory. Okay. I know I don't have 3 hands, but I do have a mouth. Alright, so I'm going to do this thing. This was huge. This helped me get to a point where I thought I could do something with... I was like... number of apps I had was not even 100. After I did this, this made a huge difference. But I will say this. There still are differences between using the supported platform and setting the arch to GCC 4 and just using the GCC 4 platform that I have. I don't remember exactly what they are, but there are some differences. There'll be some failures here or there, not sure which, I think it was here, in this environment, that won't happen in the GCC 4 environment. Using if GCC equals yes. Bootstrap. Unprivileged still. Hopefully I'm getting that because I can't even see the screen. But look, if you put this little line at the end, it means it'll let you next. I don't know why they do that. I could just continue if I wanted. And then compiler GCC. Now, okay, so it's going to do this. Oh, if you've already bootstrapped, you have to remove the work directory. rm-rf work. Take like a minute to do that. So notice in this recipe, I'm not changing any code. I'm just changing the compiler. So that was kind of my point that I was making before. It's that, you know, you may have patches that work for one version of GCC, but not the other, or vice versa. And you notice when you go to Haiku Porter and there are times where, you know, if you download the list of available recipes, you know, half of them will be marked broken. Well, it's because I haven't looked into this too carefully, but my guess is that half of the patches are for GCC 2.9.5, and the other half are for GCC 4.8, whatever it was. Right now, let's try to bootstrap this. And even though at the end it's going to say there's an error, you have to do this, that, and the other thing. You just ignore it. And now when you set the arch, there's one or two things you can do. And if the makefile still doesn't behave, you can remove the. I'll show you how to remove the dependency that Pkgsrc is saying that it has for that older version of GCC or the newer version of GCC, and then it will just work. So let's see what else I had on my notes here. This was a huge. It felt like a huge breakthrough when I found this, but there's been a number of huge breakthroughs. And there'll be one very interesting one I'm going to do with Python, because I've had a breakthrough with Python. I have a successful Python 3.4 build. And it's not a hack. It's a real build. It's somewhat of a hack, but it's a real build. So let's let this thing go. Come on, come on. It's creating. Okay, let me explain a couple things that are going on in general that you need to know while I do this, because I might go fast at some point. Now, in Pkgsrc, when you type bmake install, it does 2 steps without asking you if you want to do the second step. The first step it does is it runs a configure script. The configure script makes makefiles. Once the make files are created, then after that, the command make is run, and what make does is it turns source code into a program you can run. What configure does is it makes the make files, okay? So there'll be some times, or some of the procedures that I'll do here, I'll say, okay, you want to stop here because you don't care about, you want the make files to be created natively, or you want, okay. So I'm done. This is the error that's going to come up. Well, let me finish this. There'll be times where I'll say, okay, I'm only going to go through the configure stage here. Or I'm going to say, okay, we're going to trick package source into thinking that the configure stage is finished, because when package source does its configure stage, it'll end up overwriting a good configure file, and I don't want to do that. So I've got a trick for that. So keep that in mind. Basically, there are two steps. Well, let's go over the whole steps, just to review. In general, when you're going to compile a package, you download the source code, unzip it. You change directories into where it's unzipped, the source directory. Usually you type ./configure. Usually that'll create make files. And then usually you type make install. If you're really cautious, you can do make and then make test to see if it would install without failure, and then you can do make install. And if it doesn't work, you can do make clean. Package source, when you do make clean, it removes everything but the package source stuff. So the file you downloaded will still be somewhere in the package source tree in a folder called dist files, but the whole thing will be completely blank. So there'll be times you do not want to do make clean from the package source directory. And there's a package source root directory, and then there's a source root. The package source root directory is the directory you change into and type bmake install that causes the Berkeley make file to download the software, or move it from the dist files folder if it's already downloaded, extract it, or unzip the file, run configure and patch the configure scripts, run make, and then if you type make install, it'll attempt to install and create a package for you. So it'll install it on the system in your change root system and also create an installable package file. If another Haiku set up with package source installed, I could use the package add command if I have this binary available and not have to compile the package. But of course, that's in a different format than the Haiku package, and I'm not even there yet. So let's get back to this. So I finished bootstrapping package source while I had set the arch to x86, so that way one would think that now package source has made a copy of GCC 4.83 and will use it exclusively. It's not necessarily the case. So let's just go back to the archivers and see what happens. I actually don't remember well enough to be clear on what it was I was doing. I remember eventually I would change the arch that I would set, and I would try, okay, well that didn't work in x86, let me try it in 295, I'm sorry, GCC 4. If it wouldn't work in GCC 4, I would try it in GCC 2.95, which we're calling 2. It's not pathed. Let's see if this makes a difference. No, it didn't actually. So does it mean I'm wrong? Not necessarily. Okay. So now let's go hack up this depends file. There's a depends file because this is the package source directory. These are the categories: archivers, audio, benchmarks, biology. Of course, I've been using this longer, so I'm more familiar with this. And I'm going to go into XZ. This is the package source root directory that you change directories into. And if you type bmake install, it'll do all the things that I described. Download the source code, unzip it, configure it, and attempt to make it. All in one step. Okay, so if I go to the work directory, there's something called the depends file. And I actually need to add this to my notes. And it's saying that it requires GCC3. Alright, so let's get rid of that requirement. So it extracts it. I don't know what a toolchain wrapper is, but basically it'll take some of the, I think a toolchain wrapper might be, it takes the options that are in make.conf and applies them to the package. Now, I might not have had that first error at all if I wasn't using package source. Sometimes that happens. But that was just a very little bit of inconvenience for it, you know, and it's figuring, and now it's finishing the configure stage. It's creating all these make files. And now it's doing the make stage. Now you notice down here, there's an important file I'm going to show you right now. This file called configure.configure_done. Okay, if you don't want bmake to go and redo you're happy with your configures, you know it's going to compile if you've done it natively. All you got to do is create a file called that and put the name of the package, which is basically this. It mirrors the name of the source folder right here. In there, and then it'll skip the configure stage. On some packages, you want it to configure to skip everything but the install stage. So you can put .install done in here, and then it will only try to build the package at that point if the package isn't already registered. So you can kind of start and stop things when you want to, which is very useful. So if package source isn't doing a good job of configuring stuff for you, maybe Haiku will do a better job. Or maybe you've patched the configure stuff and you don't want it to be touched at all. Because it all depends on what the situation is. So we're still building here. I already have this built in the other. Am I? Where am I? No, I'm in the official version of Haiku. That's right. I don't remember if I uninstalled it on my other one. I have not tried the guest editions yet. Here's my GCC 4. Did I delete that? It will make a difference. I mean, this is all you need to know. I didn't note that it made any difference, so I'm not going to do it twice. I'll only do it twice if I have a reason. Okay, now what's the error code here? Oh. There's one thing you have to do. There's one, yeah, I forgot about this. Okay, so after you rebootstrap, I think you have to reinstall icon v. Otherwise, it's trying to link up with a it won't be able to link up. Won't be able to make the package because it's configured or set up for 2.5. So I need to go into I think it's in development. All right, where is it? It might be in package tools or system. Languages, what? Should have licenses. Come on. I gotta look at this closely. Packages. Maybe there's some different name. I really think it's live tool. I'm going to do bmake reinstall. Oh, brother. That's one reason why I just go with GCC4. Why is it wanting it? I'm not wanting to do GCC4. You know what? I've forgotten. So and this terminal, it's supposed to stop on Control C. I am done wrestling with this. Okay. Well, there is a way to get it back because I've done it, but I don't know exactly how. I think there's an option for package, etc. make this shouldn't even be here. It's already included. There's something called package tools. I probably should have done this a long time ago. But you know what? I'm not even going to mess with this. I'm not even going to mess with this official supported one. I'll just uninstall and reinstall. I showed you what basically I got you started. You're going to have to figure out how to get libtool reinstalled. You're going to have to uninstall it and reinstall it. I've done it before. Don't know exactly how. And since Haiku only keeps about, 10 lines of history, I can't go back and say this is exactly how I did it. Because the record's gone. And I don't even want to use this one again. Come on, mouse. Wasting time. Okay, let's go back to this GCC4 because this is what really works. Alright, so I'm just going to do this. I've already saved it, so let's just do package, delete, I've pathed that. I'm going to bmake clean. Everything stays pathed. I don't have to worry about changing architecture. I know my stuff's going to work. An awful lot of time in XZ here, but it was kind of important. Basically, if you use the GCC4 version, you're not going to have some of the problems you'd have in the other one. Number one, you're going to have to remember to set Arch to bootstrap in the first place. You have to remember to keep yourself with the Arch set. Otherwise, stuff that won't build in GCC2 will build in GCC. So you're making patches for nothing. And at the end of the day, if it's just going to take more work to use the GCC 2.95. It doesn't make any sense to me. You can't get. It's hard enough to work in this environment as it is, without the hard links, without the user directory. To get to a point where files. I shouldn't have a problem with the linker here. The linker is just something that registers the program in the system. Now there's a program called libice that will not compile in this environment, or an environment where GCC 4 has been bootstrapped. So you have to compile that in 2.95. And libice is a significant dependency. And this is another example of a program behaving differently with a different compiler, and one would expect there would be some differences because, if GCC 2.95 behaved the same exact way as GCC 4.85 or wherever it is, then there really wouldn't have been a change now, would there, between the two versions? Alright, come on. Are we taking long enough? XZ is no small program. Now, XZ on its website does say that it supports Haiku. I remember looking, it's got like a toucan on its website or something like that. Alright, the next one I'm going to go into is a slight difference with Mutt. Under GCC 4, you still need to get OpenSSL devel from Haiku Depot, but you have to edit, and I didn't do this with GCC 2, which was very surprising. Because I know how to remove stuff that EOS does not need, but I don't know how to add stuff. And you have to basically have to edit the makefile line 202 and add LNetwork. It still requires the build link transform to ignore the math library. Here we go. So XZ compiled without a problem. So if you're in a different environment, at least under package source, it's going to say, hey, I want GCC3, and even if you get rid of the dependency, you're still going to have a problem. Now, you could use package source just to get the source, and you can try to configure it and compile it outside of package source, but the whole idea behind package source is that it'll compile the first thing, and then it'll compile the second thing, and it'll keep going. It won't, you don't have to have this tedious thing. So with Mutt, just to go over this, and I also didn't have to make any of the changes I did before. It now knows where to find the mail directory. I'm not using any different of a version of Mutt as far as I know. It's just the fact I'm using GCC 4. Oh. Nope. Now, packages that are created are in, this is the package source root, and there's the mail category, Mutt, and in the work directory under the packages, the .packages folder. I'm just going to copy this to the desktop, just in case my notes are incorrect, but I really doubt it. Focus. Package delete Mutt. Then I'm going to make clean, then I'm going to go through this whole rigmarole. So it's going to start fresh for Mutt here. Alright, so I've already done the GC2 version, which contains some ugly hacks. This I am going to just do the bmake install, which is the same thing as do. Source code's already been downloaded, so it's just going to check dependencies, extract, override tools, whatever it does. And now, one thing you have to have for this not to complain about the math library, which is a benefit of using package source. So you go in, make.conf has to have this build link transform plus equals space rm colon minus lm. If you have that in there, it'll just ignore the math library errors, and that's very nice, because I'd rather not have to make a second edit to the makefile. doing the configure stage. So checking this, checking that. Sure as heck hope I'm getting this. This is a rather boring, but it's a pretty quick compile. Alright. Oh, could not determine where your mail is stored. That is different than what I remember. Alright, so it stopped here. I'm just going to go through the steps I did before. Maybe if I would have made this change in the beginning, I wouldn't have had to make those other changes. So there's mutt. Here's the work. Here's the source directory, and I'm going to go into the make file. That's strange. Okay, so maybe I still had this hacked up config. Maybe I put this configure file, so maybe that's still necessary. Where's my mutt? There's my mutt. There's the mutt. Oh. Maybe that's what I did. Minutes may not be. Okay, so I'm going to change directories. I'm going to go just to the work directory and to mutt. And now I'm going to use configure. And this is a native configure. Okay, so this works, and this doesn't complain about the don't know where your mail is located. I'm going to want to put mutt in a state such that it believes that for Pkgsrc purposes that the configure stage has been successfully finished. There's an upside and there's a down. Oh no, same thing. So I was wrong about that. No, that's where I want to be. Okay, so I need to edit the configure file here. And of course, I have to tell it that this is a text file, which I wish you would know that. Open with PE, because I like that better. Then I have to go to line 10.599. Or some thereabouts. And if you can't find it, you can search for mutt_CV mail path. I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I did have to add this. So I'm going to add another line here. So this would be the patch. It would be probably would be acceptable by the mutt people. Alt V. Okay, so now I'm going to test for boot home mail. If it finds boot home mail, then it's going to use boot home mail. I'm going to save that. Let it just, I might as well just go back into Pkgsrc then, right? I had no advantage by doing the native configure. Now it's going to create a makefile, and I probably, if I was better at knowing where to put things in these configure files, which are so damn huge, I would have already added the option for L network. There was an error in GCC4 that I didn't notice in GCC2 that couldn't find live network. Now it could have been because I'm going to see if this works. This L flags. Let's see if that works. It's compiling. I'm very interested to find out if that worked. That's very nice not to have to add the network library time. That's one more patch I just don't have to do. Half the stuff I'm trying, I'm literally okay. No, it's not picking up the login. So it did not pick up the network library. So that didn't work. This is just a waste. And one time I had pthread work, but not LP, so I'll keep it. These remove things that are in makefiles by requirement. Okay, but not always. So I'm going to, as I've said, go into the internal makefile here that has now been created because the configure stage is done. According to my notes, it would be line 202. And for cheating references purposes, I put -L network. So if you see errors that say stuff like, that says things like, get served by name, undefined reference to socket, that's what that is. Click install again. Now the configure finish flag was already marked. So and you're installed. So it's a little bit different. Not sure how I was able to compile. It could be I don't have the build link transform -L network there. I guess I could check that, but all right. So that one was pretty major. That one's out of the way now. Okay, live GPG error. This is a very good example of how the information at Haiku ports is useful. So I'm compiling live GPG error 1.13. There is a patch, amongst other things, and recipes that are available. They've downloaded from Haiku ports. I didn't apply the patch. I just made the change. This patch, the latest patch they have, is for version 1.10. It still works, but you don't have to do anything else. So those two characters right there, a minus question mark, is all you need. And that's somewhere around line 80 on a file called makeerrorcodes2.awk. So, I think I've already actually backed up libgpg error, and this took me a while to get, I think. Okay, so I'm going to go into libgpg error. I'm pretty sure it's in devel. No, it's in security. So many packages, I can't even. Okay. Which is good. I like having too many packages. Okay, security. libgcrypt is going to be another one I'm going to do, and that one's freaky. libgp, there it is. And work and packages. Copy to the desktop. Alright, so that's backed up. Alright, so let's go to security now. Alright, so first of all, I'm gonna delete the package. So I could, show this. A little bit of GPG error. It's not a package, but I have. Oh, libgcrypt. Okay, well, let's take care of libgcrypt. And he's not okay, libxlt. Alright. I'm going to make clean. So it starts from fresh. And I have to remember to put libxslt in there, maybe. Alright, so let's do. Okay, it's going to error out. It's going to say something about some kind of math error or something like that. Source code's already downloaded. So, in fact, just if you're curious, they're called dist files. I'm running out of disk space. I got 50 gigs. I'm getting close. Here's the dist files, and I've attempted to build a grand total of 1,400 and counting packages. All these are all source code files that I didn't have to bother looking for or downloading. It's great. Alright, so it's going to try to do its thing, and it's going to. I think it'll get to the make stage. Yeah, it'll get to the make stage, and then it'll fail there. Now I can get rid of all these if I want, and I probably will. Something called make dist clean. Dist clean. And you can see I was working on this for a while. I tried reverting to the older versions. I finally realized that this one. Okay, so now it's saying it's just a bunch of error, arrow no IDX code, kind of huge, and it seems to start code from error number. I wouldn't know what the hell to do with this if it weren't for 2 ports. All right, so let's go up to live GPG error work folder source directory, and I'm looking for inside the source directory something called make error codes 2 .awk or something like that. There it is. Open it up with PE, go down to, what the hell line is it? Well, there's much to it. There's this line with a string of values right here. After the caret, you just put a minus question mark. First, you have to make it not read only. And this is the patch they had over at Haiku ports, basically. They had some other procedures, but I found them to be unnecessary. I think they had a second patch, but it just didn't. I should be done with that. Yep, unwrapping files will be installed. Okay, so now we have this. Now this live gcrypt, man, I'm telling you, this was a pain in the butt. So was GNU GP. Okay, I found, I'm going to go into the other one, because I found what I did. Icon V is a converter. Where is that thing? And I do want to give it a fair shake. So here, let's start this other one up. To recover from the bootstrap I did there. So I'm sorry about the 3 packages to reinstall. Converters. Go. Oh, set the arch. All right, so you need to go to converters and icon V. Lib icon V. Without the caps, come on. Icon V, let's do it. CD converters. Do that. CD I. Where is it? Lib icon V. All right. pmake reinstall. Then I gotta go to Devel Live Tool. Come on. pmake install. I'm using the up arrow to get those to come back. And then do the same thing for package config. Why is it trying to... Is it going to try to compile GCC again? Because I don't need that. I think there's an option to use native tools GCC, and I don't have it here. Because I'm not interested in... I think it's called use built-in or something like that. Where is the damn thing? Come on, come on. I think it's this. Use built-in. Use built-in GCC. That would equal yes. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm not going to build that. I'm sorry. So, what is this thing called? Devel Live Tool. So I know any GCC compile I try at this time is not going to work. I already know they fail. Go up. There's so many damn libraries. Like, it's annoying. Lib tool. H-I-L-M-N. Lib T-U. There it is. Is it Lib tool base or is it Lib tool? Lib tool Fortran. Anyway, it depends. What? I don't remember doing all those. And I'll just go to package config. Try that. Then I'll try the archiver. Maybe this is the one I found that just is not going to work. Or maybe I gotta package, delete. Oh, just, of course it's not going to work. It's not pathed, right? Alright, package info. Let's try that. Live tool base. Live tool base. That's what it was. Let's just do reinstall that. Now, if I better make clean on XZ, but if that doesn't work, then I don't know what kind of magic I did before, but I'll have to give up again. How could you reinstall? You're not installed in the first place. I struggled with this for a little while when I changed architectures, but it finally paid off for me. I think I've covered that. That's kind of important. If this works, that was important. Now, Bison would 302, just so you know, wouldn't compile in GCC2. Had some function errors. GCC4, it just worked. I looked at my package list one day after trying to go through a series of installs and probably was archivers, and there it was. Didn't have to do anything about that. I like that, because that's a major thing. Of course, GCC 4.8, I've taken care of that. That is, if this architecture change succeeds. Otherwise, just get the GCC 4 build from before. Let's see. I wonder if I'm still kind of wondering if this is going to build. Some more ones to go over. Links, I have nothing noteworthy. That's new. Again, just like with Mutt, you have to have OpenSSL installed in Haiku Depot to do it. Still has a serious networking issue, and I still had to remove the same lines. Nothing new there. I don't know why I had that out. Couple quick ones while this compiles. Since I'm covering all of the porting issues with Pkgsrc, if you want to install LHA, unace, unarg, or xmil, it seems to require that you have a notation in your make.conf file to accept their license. Not a big deal. UPX and unalz seem to only be able to compile if you use GCC4. I'm not going to demonstrate that here, though. FLAC will be a good example. GMP is pretty major. Also, the game Marathon Trilogy wants a license. LibIce, you got to do that in almost a fresh install of a GCC 2. Save the package, because it didn't work for me in GCC 4. That's all I could really say. Don't know why. XCB Proto was a pain. Why is this stopping here? Don't tell me the same error. Can't find the package library. The linker. Great. What did I do? Did I go into work? Did I do a configure? This may be one of the ones that I had to trick. Okay, so still in the compile stage, or the configure stage. Now the problem is that bmake isn't. Okay, let's try make. Cannot find live icon v. But package source can. So let's see if this is the case of am I still in this? Yeah, I am. Does it think the configure stage is done? Okay. Yeah, so it thinks configure is done. So if I go back, it's not going to ruin the new configure that I have. And maybe I might have to, okay, let's revert the arch. Okay, let's revert the arch back. I may have this backwards. So set arch, let's see, x86 underscore GCC2. It could be that it just isn't going to work in this hybrid. Is it still trying to use GCC3? Yeah, it did. I need to get rid of that dependency. Okay, boot home, package source. I thought I set it to use the built. I have to get the exact language. If you don't have the exact language, it won't use the built-in GCC. I have to find this. And the documentation here sucks. There's like, I know the other half of the answer is somewhere on some fucking weird mailing list somewhere. It's annoying, especially when I don't remember. Foo is GCC. It shouldn't be asking for GCC anything. If it does... Did I change the XZ? If I did, of course it's not going to ask. Yeah, I did. Can't find... I don't know. There are options. You just have to figure out what the magic is, and you have to do it with trial and error. And if you don't remember, you're fucked. You know, you gotta hope it's written down somewhere. There it is. Still checking for GCC3. I'm gonna make clean again. I'm not gonna waste my time with this anymore. If something occurs to me and I think I might be able to deal with it, okay, that's fine. Alright, so I've got LiPG blah blah blah. Okay. Let's go to zip 30. And this one was the strangest shit I've ever had. I actually had to copy a header file. And I had to move it, and I had to edit it. And I couldn't edit it because it's in the non-writable part of the system. I don't know if I've done this one before. Alright, so I'm in the unsupported version. This is another archiver. It happens to be zip 30, I suppose. Okay. I'm going to set it aside because... I have the worst asthma. Alright, so, let's package delete. Zip. Bmake clean. Zip 3.0, not 30. Alright, so if everything goes right, it's going to error out, and then I'm going to do some magic and it'll work. So I'm going to have this on camera. Bmake install. And the magic is on a copy a header file. These files really should never have to be copied, they also should never have to be edited. But when I told someone about this, they go, "Oh my god." They just got pissed off, I think. Couldn't really tell. Now, one of these is simple. I'll just go over it right now. This BSD tar, it'll install without a problem, but it won't place the BSD tar binary in boot home package bin. So I had to make a copy of it from .desc directory. .desc directory just is more terminology I'm going to throw around here, but catch on. So here is, let's see. .dest directory is a mirror of what goes into the package folder. And the BSD, oh, of course, this isn't BSD tar. Why don't I just go into BSD tar? For whatever reason, this file that is here, that one, BSD tar, it didn't end up in boot home package bin, where all the Pkgsrc binaries are. All right, let's go back to zip now. Open that sucker up. Okay. So it's gonna fail with some kind of, I don't know, I call them function calls. I don't know what the hell they are. Cat flags or terminus, whatever, unexpected identifier. But I don't know how the hell I figured this out, but I did. So what I need to do is go into boot. So this is the read-only so develop, and go into headers, go into POSIX, go into sys, get my types H here. And now I'm going to go to work directories, 30 Unix, and paste it there. And they gotta edit this OSDEP H thingamabob, go to line 30, is it? Yes, and I make it readable. Where the hell is line 30? How did I figure this out? Don't ask. It took a long time. This took hours. Trial and error. I'm like a monkey here. Okay, so types H, and since I moved that header file into the same directory that this file is in, I put it in quotes. Save it. Now I need to go into types H. That I've copied over, I need to go down to line 111. This word local here. That, my friend, is screwing the pooch. And I'm going to go there with that one. Save it. Save it. And do up arrow to work without a problem. Golden. So, shouldn't have to copy over header files. And also didn't have to edit header files. I don't know if that's a bug in the OS or not. A bug in zip or what. But there you go. So that's done. We're done. We're good here. We're fine down here. How are you? All right. Next is a program called Ed 1.1. It's an editor. Fails on a hard link on the install. This hard link is actually provided with the sources of Ed. So you have to go into editors. There's Ed. Work. We end up editing this make file here on lines 75 and 76 to deal with the lack of hard links. We're going to change it from ln-f to ln-sf, but since all the sources here, as you can see, we're going to watch me do a make clean so you can see everything disappears. So let's go back. CD double dot CD editors ed go make clean. Now if I don't package delete, it doesn't matter. I'll just say, oh, you're already installed. Package delete. Oh, see up there? No work directory. It's gone. Ed. And you're done. So let's do a bmake install. It'll fail. I'm going to go into the source directory of the make file, line 7586, and change the ln-f to ln-sf. And when I do arc here, it'll be another good example of Haiku Porter being an excellent help. You can see some of these changes are very small. Come on, Ed, you can do it. Is it just going to install? No, it's not going to install because it's got the hard link is not supported. And this took me a while to figure out too. Work Ed. And here, where's my make file? My make file right over there. Go over here. It's writable. That's very good. Go down to, let's see, 75. Where the hell is 75? 712. LN. There's just an LN there, actually. So I'm going to put in minus SF. Count 86. 456. Guess that isn't. Oh, there it is. Minus SF. Save that sucker. If you make install, we're done. What do you do? Automatic man page handling. Okay, now we're going to do ARC. It's another archiver. This is 5.210. There was a port Haiku ports for 5.210. Same version. Alrighty then. So, package delete. ARC. Gone. Go back. Archiver. Clean that sucker up. And we're clean. B make install. Up arrows are great. I like those. It's gonna fail. Then I have to change a file called arcdos. It's already extracted, so I might actually be able. Well, I gotta let you see it fail. Oh, it's no fair. Let's go up. Up some more. To the archivers directory to C. ARC. There we go. There's our fail. Good line numbers. What is this? I've got to go to the arcdos thing. Open that sucker up. Make sure she's writable. Go to line 40. Fuck that is. I think it's right here. Yeah, that's it. I gotta put a SYS in front of the time, /time. Save that sucker. Bada boom. Done. Unwrap your files to install. That's what I like to see. Okay, then we got there's a permanent XCB proto that had no problem installing in GC2. But don't take my word for it. That thing with ARC did not work out. Or XV didn't work out. So I had to do a native configure with using the prefix in the configure command boot home package, and I had to place the configure done in place because I thought I had an older version of Python than I really did. So I'm not gonna have that, and I didn't get to Python yet, and that is a real treat. What do I have here? XCB proto help to man. I don't know if I did that. Live archive. Pigs. Zzip-lib. GMP. libexec info. And FLAC. gcrypt and GNU-GP and Netris. Maybe Netris will be easy. Now, Netris is another example of having to add the network library. So let's go in here. Just if you don't know, there's a function that Haiku/BOS has that's provided by libnetwork. If you see like can't find the socket, can't get server address, things like that. I've already did one that had this same kind of error. Same kind of change, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Anything I've changed, I'm going to get on camera here, okay? Alright, Netris. Legs falling asleep. Alright, so let's do package delete. Netris, RIS, gone. We're gonna bmake clean. Bmake install. No, not want to do that. Bmake install. Come on, there you go. It's gonna fail, and then I have to change the inner make file of this thing. So let's just head that direction. By the time I get there, now I got a lot of packages that just simply compiled and worked. So there's nothing to disclose, you know. Source directory. Of course, the configure stage is not done, so the make file does not exist. But once it is done, I am going to want to. Alright, so it's starting to try to do. It failed already. Alright, so where's our make file? Open with PE. And we're going to go down to line number 9. And L flags. This is also a way to add a library. I figured that out all by my lonesome. Alright. Bmake install. Let's do it. Bada bing, bada boom. We're done. Free up and install. Automatic manual page handling. I like it. And we're done. Alright. XCB Proto worked with that issue in GCC2. It was a real pain in the ass in GCC4. I'm really looking forward to doing that. Something goes on in GC4 with help to man. Let's see. Let's try lab archive. This lab archive, you have to trick it. So let's go ahead and do that. Archive. Lab archive. So packages, so to copy the package. Copy the package on the desktop. Okay, ready to go here. Yeah, see me. Alright, there we are. Alright. Ready? Okay, so I need to package delete. Done. Let's see, lib archive. Done, and we're gonna make clean. So, it's gonna fail in the configure stage, so I gotta trick this son of a bitch. So bmake install. I wonder if I set that crap aside somewhere. I did make a backup of the package in case I actually can figure it out. or made crappy notes. Shouldn't be that way. Creating toolchain wrappers for LibArchive 2.84 and B4. On the compilation channel, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your viewing pleasure. Alright, so now it's the configure stage. What am I doing in the headers here? What am I doing over here in the headers, Vernon? Let's go over to that thing. That thing, that thing. LibArchive, right? Is that what I'm doing? That's gonna fail. So I'm gonna need Haiku's configure to do the job for me. And what I'm looking for here is it still doesn't have the configure done. It's gonna crap out here. Since I already know that, I'm gonna copy this name with an Alt-C. I'm going to create a new text file that is called .configure. Done. I'm doing this to get Pkgsrc to never again try to make configure files, because this configure will actually won't work. No, great. Replace the other file. No, I didn't want to replace. That's dumb. Now I got to put the name of the package in there. That's okay. Edit, paste. All right, where'd I get that? Copy the name of the folder right up there. See, it mirrors it, right? Huh? See that? Huh? Right, and I save it. Now, if I'm wrong here, then I'm just freaking wrong. I just need to make clean, and I didn't understand that, and tried to make it too soon, and it just wouldn't go through. LibArchive. LibArchive. Unwrapping files to be installed. So I guess. Yeah, okay, no problem with this. So I don't get it. I guess I just need to make clean and I have notes for nothing. That's done. Okay. Pigs has to have the build link LP thread thing, and you have to edit just like with Ed. You have to, but this is line 6. You have to change the hard link to a soft link. Might as well go to pigs. Let's see here. It's another archiver. Package delete pigs. Make clean. Make install. I'm doing the other. I'm removing these so I could show you guys it works. Okay, don't give me any shit. All right, I'm getting down. See, the Python I got to do in a separate one because it's. Or maybe I should just keep it. Maybe I should just keep that to myself. Well, if I do it in a different video, I'll have it'll be labeled Python 34 and Haiku. What a surprise, or something like that. It's probably going to be in the next one. It's going to configure and build for pigs, and then it's going to say, oh, sorry, the hard link is not going to work for you. So, let's go to pigs. Yeah, it's the inner makefile. The inner makefile, I believe, right? Yes. Line number 6. It's 11. This is 4. See that F? ln minus F, ln minus SF. That's all you gotta do. And the damn thing will make a package for you. Because you're good enough, smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like it. Okay, this zzip lib was giving me hell for a while. I don't know why it suddenly worked. I had no problem with it in the GCC2 environment. It seemed to keep going on for a while. It's zzlib 13.59. At the end, it just worked. So it could be some kind of entry I have in my make.conf. Who knows? And once you make the entry, you don't know if it's going to fail without it. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Hint, hint. Okay. There's a program called Help to Man, and it doesn't seem to build properly in GCC4. It's missing some files, so you have to, and you need GCC4. And a lot of programs need this, but basically, you just slim the package list down to what you really need. The help to man file, the info file, and the man page, basically. What is this? What's this under? Probably, let's see. Text processing? What the fuck do I know? Nope. Is it under converters? I hate those freaking converters. Yes. Yes, it is, Johnny. Okay, so now let's package delete. Help to man. Let's make clean. This was a... No, don't want to make install. Make clean. Alright. Let's go for it. Make install, and then it's going to fail when it tries to create the package. So this is how you deal with a package list that's not in sync with the packages that are created. It's a real treat in Python, but I know how to get around it now. Let's go up here. This was, where was it? Converters. Damn, I don't know how I even know that. I just remembered it. Converters. I don't know what the hell it's converting. Oh, help pages, demand pages. Ah. Aha. That's what it is. Work. It's doing the toolchain wrapper crap. The secret to this whole damn thing is this package list crap. This thing. Now, last time I did it, I had to narrow it down to this many. So actually it's going to work. Because this is, it's outside the work directory. If I make clean, it's not going to make a difference. If you have problems with help to man, just narrow your thing down to these 3. Bin, help to man, info, help to man.info, man. Man 1, help to man point 1. It may have made more packages. Let's see. What do they actually have here? I could expand the package list and have better. Yeah, I gotta have, Okay, so bin, there's help to man. Info, help to man.info. Lib, nothing. And you know what? It actually doesn't build in Haiku either that way either, natively. Their package is exactly the same. Creates a library directory, but nothing goes there. There probably should be something there. And I think in GCC2 it actually builds a more complete package. Yay, GCC 2. But GCC4 is in the lead by far. GCC2 fans. Alright. There's gone. Okay. Yeah, right. This GMP is This might have only been an issue in GCC 2. See, I had to set the arch to x86. I think GMP is in develop. There are 1,800 packages in this damn thing. There it is. There is a damn thing. God damn it. Copy this. It was a real pain in the ass to figure out. Okay. Now this, for some reason, at least in, I don't know, let's see if it still wants to use GCC 3. I thought it was kind of strange, but develop, right? Right. CD dot dot. Oh, come on, get focus here. CD dot dot. Up arrow go. CD. What is it? Develop. G. No caps, please. Thank you. GMP. And make clean. Otherwise, I'll just reinstall my shit. I've already compiled. That'd be cheating. Alright, so see how the folder... I hate how that thing disappears. It's useless to just... I don't want it to disappear for me. I like it when it stays open. Now, did I even delete this damn thing? And the problem is, I don't know if something else is going to depend on this by now. MPFR. Those would be easily reinstallable, at least at this stage. Those just install. Okay, so let's do the bmake install once again. Woohoo! Now, I'm not going to have to set the arch to x86, but I did have to, on the other system, I had to actually change into the work directory and configure there, do a bmake install, then I had to manually place files where they belonged and do another bmake install. I didn't do XCV Pro, I talked about it. GNU PG is one hell of a hack. I'll just say that. Maybe I'll do that with the Python one, because that one's kind of special. These are all like small things. This one might take a while. I guess I could do a sneak preview. Let's see. Now with live gcrypt, that's also kind of special too. I couldn't get the damn thing resolved. I mentioned it a few nights ago when I was doing my video. And I eventually ended up changing something with my B includes, and then it worked. But actually, before we do that, I'm gonna do live exec info. Damn thing, hurry up. This on the GCC2, I actually had to change directories and redo the config stage. We'll see how that goes now. These are all the things I had to hack in some fashion. Meanwhile, if I were using Linux, I'd have to do none of these things. Isn't that weird? Oh, well, I guess I could do a little bit of a sneak preview for GNU GP. So GNU GP didn't work. I reverted back. I tried 1.4, 17, 15, 14, and 11. Kept getting the same error. Then I tried it in Haiku Porter with 1.411, and it had no problem. Well, this is weird because I'd actually applied all the patches that were in Haiku Porter. In fact, let me show you where these patches are on well, this thing compiles. So if you have already signed up or installed Haiku ports, let's see, what was this thing? This was like App Secure. They got the strangest App Crypt. They got the strangest categories. I found that these recipes hardly matter. Here's the 1.411. Here's the patch for 1.411. And right here, the part that's actually highlighted, I had added. I'd even added this thing down here, but it really didn't make a difference at all. I still kept getting the same error here. Asuan Sock Connect or some shit like that. What I ended up doing was actually literally I went into the source directory, the work directory for this, and let's see, this is GNU GP. Let's see what I actually ended up copying. I ended up copying the configure, the make file, the make am, and the make an straight into my my package source directory, and I did a native configure, and then I tricked package source. This was a real tooth puller, but I finally got it. And then I had to move stuff around because it was putting files in the location that Haiku wanted, then not the package list. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to rearrange the package list just for Haiku. I'll tell someone how to path my packages, but I'm not going to. After such a pain in the ass to port things over, I'm going to rearrange everything now. But anyway, so this was a real treat. The diffs just on the make file and the make file in and the configure are huge between the original and the one I copied in. The one I copied in worked. So this I call the Magic Steamroller patch. I'm not going to do much with it. And then I'll get to Python, because that is just absolutely, was a real breakthrough, and I'm going to do another video for that. So, and I'll put a little note at the bottom of my thing. It's another video. I didn't think I'd get this far, actually. I don't know how long I've been here. Hope my hard disk isn't full. Come on, GMP. Let's go. Big money, big money. Now, it could be that GMP just didn't need anything. GMP, not GNU PG. But this is where, if your compile works in Haiku Porter, save the source directory and just copy that sucker into your package source directory. Trick it into thinking that the both the compile and the install's done. So all we'll do is just try to make a package, and you're done. Well, not exactly. It'll say, oh, this package isn't where we think it should be. You just got to move stuff around, and then you're done. So if Haiku Porter, will compile it for you and help you move along in Pkgsrc, do it. The problem I have with Haiku Porter, I keep saying this, is that it's just too tedious. A lot of the time. A lot of the time you try to build something and you're best doing it without any dependencies at all. Is this still going? Oh my god. Well, actually, because you can use more than one terminal in Haiku, this is allowed. Exec info, I bet you, is in development. See, I don't even want to be there. So I'm doing in like a few minutes things that took me just hours to figure out what these simple changes were. In some cases, and then as I got better or more familiar with what to do, then it became easier. Lib exec info. Here we are. I'm gonna make a backup of this sucker. In the .packages, let's see, copy to the desktop. Alright, so all I gotta do is make one change to a makefile. And this is the one case where the entry in make.conf did not override the math library, because it uses a bit of a different format for the math library. Let's see, how's GMP doing? Still compiling. Damn thing. Okay. It's wrapping files to be installed, so maybe... Alright, so GMP is nothing. It has problems in the GCC2 environment, but not GCC4. So in GCC2, you have to set the arch, you have to make clean after you set the arch and let it compile in GCC4. And if there are any differences, you have to use the native configure and trick Pkgsrc by making that .configure_done file with the name of the folder that the sources are in there, and then it'll work. So I think that's the only instructions for GC2. Well, let's go into lib exec info. Okay, package delete lab. Make clean. Hey, how that thing closes. Okay. Make install. Let's go back in here. Pkgsrc, develop. I do like how it keeps its spot mostly. Come on, live accept. Respond. There we go. I like how it does that. Work directory. Do we have a make file? Yes, we do. So I'm just gonna. Now, if it compiles, in fact, I'm gonna wait. If it compiles, that means yeah, it did. So for some reason, at one point, I didn't have. If this isn't placed exactly in the right place, this build link transform, if there's like one wrong space anywhere in there, then so I actually didn't even have to make any change to for the math library there. Okay, FLAC. FLAC is just, I think this is another GCC2 issue. I had to do a native configure on the GCC2 platform even after I set the arch. And it put things in some strange places. Let's just try it. FLAC is an audio. I did make clean, did I not? Line 38. See, before, if you don't have that entry in make.conf, that -lm will cause the compile to fail. That's the same -lm that will cause Python to fail. So I didn't have to mess with that. I just made install. Especially in GCC4, it just works. So, you know, why patch it when you don't have to? All right, let's go into audio. I was really hoping that I would be able to get the network library to add, but I don't know how to get it to add something that's missing. I think a -L network in the build link transfer surprisingly might actually add it. I don't. Okay, where's FLAC? I haven't proven that yet. I've proven the math library works. That there's no doubt about that. FLAC, here's my work. Okay, so I need to go in here for my package. Just going to copy that to the desktop. Because you can reinstall these things. Package_add, name a file. As long as it's in the same directory, it goes right back in. Okay, audio. Package delete. FLAC. What else? Make clean. Make clean. Cleaning for FLAC. There goes your directory. Sorry, but you're finished here. If anybody's played video games in the 80s, they will recognize that quote. Alright, let's do bmake install, go. Now I had to manually move, and whenever you have to do a native configure, there's always some files misplaced on the package list. The package list is this list right here. It usually likes to put things, so it's expecting all these files will be created before you even start. And if it doesn't, it says, sorry dude, you gotta fix this stuff. So in FLAC, I remember having to do a native configure. I just, that's what my notes said. Wouldn't have written that down unless I had to, but it was probably again on the hybrid. So I was having things just wouldn't compile here without a problem. I was having problems all over the place. Let's go FLAC. Okay, so GNU GP, I've already explained basically what I did. I've left the real nasty ones for the end. So it's doing configure, which I expected. Also, once this config status is done, you will see a .configure done appear magically in the directory. But we're still in the config status. When that goes away, configure done. Now, compile will fail if there's something wrong with the configure. But see, now that it's marked done, I could safely change directories and go into the actual source directory for the package, do a native configure, and then go back to package source, bmake install, and it won't redo the configure stage. It won't do that. libflac, 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 libaflac. This is some kind of audio library. So I started out mostly clueless, but package source helped me get to a point where I could figure things out enough and still be mostly clueless about, I don't know what most of this code, I couldn't make wholesale changes to the code and expect to succeed. GNU GP is very interesting. Okay, so it looks like it's going to install unless it's missing something. It's going to install unless it's missing something. Manual page handling, installing the binary. Okay, so no problem with FLAC. Had everything to do with being on GCC2 once again. Okay, the opposite was true of XCB Proto. And let's see. This is an X11. I'd have package after package fail on the dependencies for these things. XCB. So that's why I'm doing this. So people, if they're having problems with any of these, they could watch my video and. Why did I move that? That was stupid. Actually, it's okay if I move it because I'm going to make clean anyway. Okay, so package delete XCB. This was a real pain in the ass. Now what's it supposed to do here? Basically, I just kept trying and didn't make clean. Okay, let's package delete again. And this time we're going to make clean, otherwise we'll just reinstall it. Yeah, that was too easy. Alright, nope. Damn it. Okay, good. Bmake install. This was a real pain. I had to do native configure. I even had to hard code the prefix. Now, one of these, libgcrypt, I actually had to change the b includes, which is a variable, which now, when you do configure, there's options for configure. I just, quite frankly, it's just one of those things. It's worse than the, some of the options for Unix commands. A lot of the time, the man pages are unreadable, but at least they exist. Most people don't understand man pages and know what commands to run with certain programs out of habit, but they actually really don't. Why I didn't have a problem with XCB Proto? Last night when I had the broken installation of Python, I had a faked Python 2.7, it kept thinking I had Python 2.5. I don't have that problem anymore. So if you have a problem with XCB Proto and you cheated to get your Python to work, one of the after effects is XCB Proto won't. And I still am having some problems with Python 2.7, even though it's theoretically not cheated. So, okay, so now we got libgcrypt. It was unable to find libgpg, which is dependency. In fact, I've already removed this. I thought it installed easily today, but it kept conking out yesterday with not being able to find lsocket, and I thought that maybe I don't know why I kept going in, doing native configures, outside configures, b includes, all sorts. Let's see what happens. I'm going to set this one. I really want to set aside. I already have it set aside. So, well, whatever. This is under security, I bet you. Lib secret. Libgcrypt. I haven't made clean yet, so I still have. It is already uninstalled. Okay. So this is in security, is it? I'll just get out so it won't disappear on me. libgcr ripped. Right, so let's just make sure it's gone. Package delete. Okay, so there's no package in there. Let's make clean. Now, if it works just fine, I'm going to look at my b includes and see if that had anything to do with it. I don't know if you have to redo that every time you Now, the way to look at what your b includes are, basically, this is how the compiler finds the headers. If you type env. Ooh. And let's see. No, the stuff I had in there yesterday, I had a b libraries entry. So once you reboot, it's gone. So I'm going to find out right now if it was the b includes. Or if it was just that I had to make clean and I just never made clean. And I might not succeed. This just kept going in circles, and maybe I'll have to show that I was in a catch-22 with this thing. GNU GP was a real treat. And I've already hinted at what I'm going to do with the Python thingamabob. Maybe I'll just... I'll stop because I don't want this to get too big. I don't know how big my file is for this damn thing. Oh, can't even get out. Get out of the way, Haiku OS. And where the hell am I? This video is 9 gigs. Holy mackerel. Yeah, so I have to stop pretty damn soon. Come on, Light G Crypt. Now, errorizing last night. Can't find L socket. Can't find L socket. Can't find L socket. Eventually, I had to type a command that's no longer in my history, so I have to remember what that was, or I think I printed it out. Guys, look at our new GP. This configured down I had to put in place. It was very difficult to do. In fact, it's going to be on my next one, actually. It almost, things need to be copied in stages. Maybe I could untwist my camera. Whee! Are we there yet? There's the LP thread. I'm gonna grab myself some drink. This damn thing isn't long enough as it is already, but hey, stay there. Now, if you didn't guess already, I'm doing all this so you won't, well, it installed. Well, that's a non-mystery. I guess I just need to make clean. Alright, so I don't know why I'm having trouble with some things to start with, and they're not giving me any hell anymore, so I just... Alright, so I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to do Python, and then do GNU GP.